We'll give it a couple more minutes and then we'll get started.
Our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
Did everyone have a good Mother's Day?
You got a friend in me.
It went very well, Tammy.
Good. Good.
I'm looking forward to the really nice warm temperatures in Wisconsin this week.
Oh gosh, it was 90 degrees yesterday in Oklahoma and humid. In fact, when Karen got out of her coach and she goes, "Oh my gosh, the moisture in the air," and I'm like, "Oh, we hate it." But she came from the desert, and it's like she loved it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. We went straight from spring to hot summer, and it's like,
yeah, I think that's what's going to happen here too, because it seems like by the middle of the week it's going to be high 80s. So.
Oh boy.
Yep. 40s to 80s, double it, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't. I just have a hard time doing all that high heat. I mean, I love it warm, and I typically in the winter I'm always cold, but when it gets so hot you can't even focus. It's like, gosh. Okay. Pause that. All right, we're gonna get started, and I'll just start letting others come on in. All right, so a lot of people have asked me, Tammy, how have you built such a successful business on Facebook? And that's primarily where I have built all of my following is on Facebook. I am not an Instagram user. I have an account, but I really don't know how to use Instagram. So I could use a tutorial on Instagram in comparison to this, but Facebook is something that I've learned and feel like I've done really good at, and I want to teach you guys some of the things that I've done along the way. So building a business on social media is fairly easy. You just got to know the ins and outs. And one of the things that I'm going to cover today is the very first foundational thing that I started with. And I learned it from another business mentor that actually built a six-figure income on Facebook. So I myself have built the same thing, and I feel like it's a duplicatable system. So let me teach you. So one of the things that we're going to go into next is the first step into having a business on Facebook is to identify your audience. Ask yourself these questions. What am I selling? Who needs it? Who is my target audience? Where will I find my audience? So anybody, here in the group, what is your goal when you're building a business? Can you give me some examples of what your goal would be to building a business on social media? Mute yourself and we're just going to make this as interactive as we can so that I can ask or answer any questions that anybody comes up with. And maybe some of these questions maybe you don't know how to answer that. Feel free to unmute yourself and let's just get interactive with this.
Tammy, for me, it's helping people naturally with their wellness, so I guess if I was to sum it up, it's more educating them and helping them understand my struggle is with, I'm not the expert. I mean, I guess I could turn myself into the expert maybe, and that could be my hang up.
And you don't have to be an expert, because guess what? You got a lot of expert friends. And, that's what I truly feel like I have been successful the way that I have been because I have that same attitude that you do, Sue. I'm not an expert at anything, even in the things that I think that I might be an expert at. I'm not an expert. I'm going to teach you guys some things, and there may be somebody out there that's even smarter than I am with Facebook, but I'm going to show you how I did it. So just getting out there and letting people know that, hey, I'm not an expert, but I can find that answer for you. That is okay. I mean, and really that kind of sets you apart, because I don't know about you, but the most thing that will put me off is someone that thinks that they know everything. You know,
yeah.
it's like, I want to learn from somebody that feels like they're learning too. You know, 'cause to me, that's more attractive. And maybe that's not for everybody, but if that's kind of what you're targeting, then that's what you need to look out for. So, anybody else have a struggle or have a thought about your business and maybe don't know what direction to go in? I mean, we're going to touch on some things, but I want to kind of get your feedback. What is the one thing that holds you up on Facebook? Because Facebook is
Getting more customers.
more customers. Okay. And what kind of customers?
Yeah, that's a good one. Not just anybody, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So customers that are going to appreciate the product and pursue getting more customers themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And in the weeks to come, I'm going to teach you even how to tap into your Facebook friends. I mean, because if it's not for them, maybe they know somebody that it is for, you know, and then you can just ask them, hey, would you send them my way? Because if they respect you and they, you know, hold you in high regard, then they trust you, then they're going to tell their friends about you too. So that's a good point. You want to build that up and that repertoire up with your people. Okay, so I'm going to move forward. Second step to building an audience is I want you to look at your friends list. How many friends do you currently have on Facebook? I'm going to show you mine, and let me minimize these real quick. I get tons of messages. So when we go to my Facebook here, I have 1.7 thousand friends currently. And what I want you guys to know is that you can have up to 5,000 friends on your personal Facebook page. Did you know that? And a group can have thousands. So why do you think I bring this out?
I think you bring it out because the more people that you have access to, you know, they might not be a friend of yours, but they might be a friend of yours. So it just, you know, adds exponentially.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the deal. Here's the goal that I want everybody to really think about and do is start adding friends to your friends list. And then the next question is, how do I do that? You know, a lot of people will ask me, well, how do I do that? So now you're going to start building up your friends list and think about creating a group for your target audience. It's okay to make your own little group if you'd like. And the way you do that is, you know, think about who you want to target. What is it that you know, what's your end goal? Is it natural health? Make you up a natural health group. Maybe you're an expert in one thing with natural health. Make that about your group. There are so many groups on Facebook. I mean, you can plug in a word and you'll have all these different groups come up. And I'm going to show a little bit of that here too when we go into Facebook. So the way you find groups is you may go in here. I'm typically on my phone, so bear with me a minute. Let's see, I think we do a search here. Yeah. So let's just search holistic. So when I put in holistic, it's going to pull up some of the groups that I'm already in. But say you're wanting to find a different, let's say holistic hippies. I don't know. I'm just going to throw that in there. Let's see if there's any groups on holistic hippies. And if there are, okay, so there's a private group. So right here, you go here and you say, I want to join. And this one didn't have any questions for me to answer. Oh yeah, it did. So here, you just answer the questions here and you check mark that you agree to the group rules, because a lot of times they, you know, won't let you in unless you do that. So I'm assuming this might be a Young Living oil group. I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling that's probably what that is, but you can find out what a group is about by, going back to the actual group and then, opening it up. And then sometimes you can read and figure out what's this group about. Yep. So it is Young Living. So, go and search some groups, see if they're, of things that you're interested in, because that is your target audience. So get into these groups and then start making comments, and then you're going to see the people that come out in these comments who's like-minded like you are. So that is the people that you want to actually start requesting friends. But I'm going to give you an extra little secret here. I wouldn't join a group that's only got like 111 people. And the reason why is because I'm going to run out of, people that are like-minded in there. So maybe, look at all the groups and see if there's one that's got, a couple thousand on there. Here's one, Holistic Health and Wellness, 6.7 members, and they do 8 posts a month. So yeah, I'm going to join that group. So agree, submit, and that's all I had to do there. So that is one of the things that you can do. And then the other thing, once you get into different groups, I'm going to show you another little secret that you can do. Let's see, here's my groups here, I think. Well, here's another one. I joined that one too. It's got 29,000 people in it. So you get the idea. Just join some different groups that have common interest with you, and that's how you're going to seek out the friends that you're looking for. But let me show you exactly how you can start. Where's my groups? There they are. Okay, so here's Healthy Holistic Moms. So this is a group that I'm in. So what you can actually do to find like-minded ones is go to the actual members, and you'll click on the different members here, and then you'll start scrolling down. Here's the admins and the moderators. You can add them as a friend if you like, but just go through here, and these are some of the friends that are in there that I am friends with. But read what they are. She has her own business. Maybe I might want to be a friend with her. Add her as a friend, and then the next thing you can do is send them a little blurb in Facebook Messenger. Hey there, I noticed we have a lot in common by your comments in the groups we are in together. I love connecting with like-minded people and would be honored to connect with you. I've been an iridologist for 31 years and have a passion for holistic health. I noticed you're a health coach too, if you find somebody that's a health coach that you want a friend. How long have you been helping others on this journey? Be friendly when you send them a message in Facebook Messenger. And this is the reason why I friend requested you. Because a lot of people, I get friend requests all the time. But if they don't reach out to me and go, hey, I'm a friend of so-and-so and I've seen you a lot and I'd like to connect with you, I typically won't allow their friendship, because I get so many people that come to me and say, hey, I got this opportunity and that opportunity, and I just don't have time to look at all of it. But if people are open and friendly with me, then I'm more apt to accepting their friendship. Does that make sense? So what you want to do is you want to start joining these groups that have like-minded people in it, and then start adding those like-minded friends to your personal Facebook profile. Make it a goal to reach out to 25 new people a day. So friend request, 25 new people a day. This week, that's what I want you guys to focus on, is friend requesting up to 25 new people a day. And I just kind of showed you how to do that. So does anybody have any questions on, a little bit more on how to do that before I move forward? So the groups, what are the type of audience you're seeking? So these are the different words that you can search. You saw me, just do a search in Facebook and it pulls up all the groups. So try searching those type of words. Any questions? Oh, let me see. There's something in the chat group. Oh, you're welcome, Chemistry. I'm glad to be able to help. And this may seem basic to most of y'all. Maybe you're already doing that, but there are some that, don't know how to do this, but this is actually the first step in building a big audience. This is where I started, guys. I was like, I only had, I don't know, I probably had less than 200 or 300 friends when I started 2 years ago. And then this mentor told me, Tammy, you have the capability to have 5,000 friends. Why don't you? And I went, well, I don't want everybody seeing my stuff. That's a closed-minded attitude. And if you're wanting to build a business on Facebook, you're not going to get anywhere if you're wanting to try to protect your profile or anything like that. Build another profile that's a business profile then. You know, I have people that have built, you know, a profile just for their family to see, family and close friends. And then I have people that have built a profile just to do business with. My Facebook is my personal Facebook, but I'm going to teach you some things later on as to why I left it like that. I'm a real person, you know, and for the longest time, I would hide behind Facebook and not share myself at all. I wouldn't send pictures of, you know, myself in one of my big groups that I have. I have a group that's got over 5,000 in it. And a lot of people go, well, you've got a following because you've got that big group. Honestly, my Facebook page is more, attracts more people than my group does. So, and I think people are looking for a real person. So be a real person. When you're messaging people in Facebook Messenger, use the voice recorder so that they can hear your voice. They can, you know, make you a personal friend, so to speak. They can hear you. They know that you're real. You're not just a robot. You're not a fake account, because there's lots of people that have fake accounts too. So questions, I'm going to open it up to questions. I want to hear some feedback and see what you guys say.
How much time do you spend a day on Facebook doing all of that?
I spend a lot of time on Facebook, but honestly, I would say when I'm setting aside time to join groups and add new people, I'll spend about an hour.
Okay.
I will set aside a good hour in a morning sometime. And I haven't done this in a while because I've just been so busy, but I need to add more friends to my friend list too. I'm at 1.7 million. I mean, 1.7 thousand rather. So, you know, I need to get in there and start, you know, going through the groups. And one of the ways that I do that is I'll go down this list and, you know, I'll read what they're about. And if it looks like something that I'm interested in, or that they seem very like-minded, you can learn a lot about looking at someone's profile. So look at their profile, kind of stalkish, I guess, in a way. But you want to reach out to those people and get them, you know, on your Facebook. Some that are, you know, this one looks like she's a distributor of Young Living. There's no reason why I can't add her as a friend. I would add her as a friend and send her a message that, hey, you know, I work with a lot of clients. I'm not a Young Living distributor, but I'm not interested in being one. But, you know, I could connect with you and send you some referrals. Make the little message really nice and let them know that why you're connecting with them. You know, because a lot of people, you know, they won't connect with others because they don't know you, you know, so you want to give them a reason why you're doing that. But just scroll through all these different people. Most groups, you can see who's in the group, you know, and you can read a little bit about it. I typically won't do or won't friend people that I can't see a picture of. You know, it's like, I want to see what they look like. I can sense their energy typically by their picture, but just scroll through these different groups and start adding the friends. And if it's a business or whatever, send them a message and say, hey, I'd like to connect with your business so that, you know, I can send you some referrals. I mean, I've got lots of people on my friends list that, you know, maybe they have a different business and it's not like my business, but it's something that I can refer them to. It's a great way to connect with people. So that's how I've been using my Facebook, is just to try to connect. So, but yeah, it takes a little bit of time to dedicate and spend that time searching for some of these people, but it is so rewarding, because before long your friend list starts growing, and that's what you're wanting to do. You want to grow that so that you have people that is your audience. And like I said, type up a little message. You know, you can put some emojis in there. You can put your website. And I've done that too. I'll attach my website so that they can check me out. And here's a little bit about me and what I do. But save that little message in your phone. Make that, you know, there's a notebook place in Android phones. And I don't know about Apple, but I'm sure there's some sort of a notebook that you can actually save a little blurb. So get your phone organized so that way, when you're doing this, you know, maybe you're sitting in a waiting room or whatever, spend that time friending people, you know, get more added to your friends list. And then you can bounce back and forth in your phone and send that blurb and say, hey, I'm just reaching out to you because of, you know, XYZ, and, you know, that you're wanting to connect with these people. And feel free to interrupt me, guys. I'm just wanting to make this as casual and as fun as possible. So the goal is to have 5,000 new Facebook friends. And the purpose is because in the weeks to come, I'm going to show you and teach you some secrets on targeting your new audience. What you don't want to do is you don't want to start spamming these new friends. Just let them ride and watch you for a while. And I'm going to teach you how to make your algorithm very fluid where you're noticed all the time. So the first step though, guys, is to get people on your friends list. That is really what I want you to do is this week, focus on adding at least 100 new friends to your profile by next Monday, because next Monday we'll cover another topic that's going to help you build an algorithm up so that people start to noticing. Because if you're not posting every day, your profile is not being seen. So if you're not doing something every day on Facebook, that algorithm gets lost. Any questions?
No questions, but I just want to say this is exciting because, you know, when you don't, you know, like, you know, it's out there and you know, you can do something with it, but you don't know how to do it. So to me, this is very exciting. And I love assignments. Like, okay, it's go time. Like, let's do this.
Add those 100 new friends, make that your goal this week. And you guys, you can message me. You can say, hey, you know, send me a blurb or whatever and say, hey, does this sound right? Does this sound like, you know, would you accept my friendship if I sent you this message? You know, I'd be happy to critique and let you know, well, yeah, that'll work, or no, that won't work. Let's rephrase, you know, that a little bit, because it took me quite a while to figure out a good rhythm, and it took work. I will tell you guys, it took a lot of work for me to build what I've built, but I stay consistent at it because I love what I do. I absolutely love waking up in the morning and I've got all these messages when I wake up, and it's like, oh, okay. So, you know, people come to me and they ask me this, or, hey, how are you doing? Or, you know, and I've got my teams that, you know, that I do. I've got, you know, a couple of businesses that I'm in. But I feel like I'm not one of those spammy Tammy type of people. I am out there to try to educate, like Sue said. That is my whole goal, is just to educate and make this type of platform a fun platform. But next week, I'm going to show you some of the things that I think that'll be like your aha with Facebook. There is a reason why you want to have your base first, though. You've got to have a base, or you're just going to be spinning your wheels. You know, I've had someone reach out to me that I think she had 111 friends, and she goes, Tammy, I just don't understand how you're booming with these businesses. And, you know, whenever she came to me, I'm like, well, let me see how I can help this woman, you know, and because she's asking me, how's this work for you? I don't get it, Tammy. You know, who are you who are you talking to, and who are you, associated with, and what are you doing? And, and all these questions. And I'm like, well, let me just go see where she's at. So I went and looked at her friends list, and she only had 111, 112 or something like that. And I'm like, well, there's part of your problem right there, is you have no audience. I said, and who on your friends list, are they all just family? Are they personal acquaintances or friends that you actually know in person? She goes, yeah, they're just family and my close friends. And I'm like, well, you've exhausted you you're not going to attract anybody because they already know what you do. So when you have those multitudes of friends, they start watching you. I've got people that have been secretly watching me for going on 3 years. And I recently had someone reach out to me that I had forgotten she was one of my Facebook friends because she's so quiet. And she reached out to me and she goes, I've really been watching you for some time. And she goes, I'm ready to do what you're doing. And I'm like, oh, really? So we've had a conversation about that. I'll connect with people on Zoom and say, well, this is what I'm doing and this is how I'm doing it. And it just really makes for fun. It's fun to connect with people. And I don't know, that's the secret with Facebook. I think that's my personal secret is just connecting with different ones. Jen, you came in kind of at the end. Do you have any questions? I kind of finished the deal, but we're basically talking about adding friends to your friends list. You want to have an audience. So you want to add as many friends as you can have, because you can have up to 5,000 on your Facebook page, but you have thousands of people. But in order to have a group and invite people to the group, you got to have friends that you can invite.
Right.
So really want to build your friends list up. So any questions?
I just find that my friends are in different pockets of interest. And so again, I hope we'll go over the best teaser. I tend to just spill all my beans up front. So, and sometimes that works for certain personality types, but there's so many different walks of life that I'm in interests that I'm involved in, and I'll have 500 friends from the groups that love Sheltie puppies because I have a Sheltie. I've got that type of a thing.
Yeah.
And so I guess I just want to be better at, doing a good post that creates their interest that way. And the other thing is the algorithms with Facebook. You end up kind of talking to the same 20 people. And so are we going to learn how to make sure that we're getting in front of them? Good.
I'm going to cover that in the weeks to come. I'm starting off really slow with everybody because this is a process. This is something I've been working on for the last 2 years, and it's not going to happen overnight, but this is how you start. And you've got to start by just, like I was telling everybody else, you've got to start by joining groups that you have like interest with, and joining groups that has your target audience in it. What are you targeting? What are you selling? If you're selling your services as a holistic health coach or massage therapist, or, a body code practitioner, or maybe, everybody you see is in person and you really don't, you're wanting to target people, maybe to sell an item. And that's what Facebook is great for. Facebook's not so great if you're trying to get, clientele base in your hometown. This is something to kind of build, to sell an item or to sell a service. Maybe you have a virtual service that you can do, like me. I have my iridology. I can do that virtually, and I can talk about that all day long, or, once a week or something, maybe make a post about iridology if I wanted to. So that is the whole key behind it, is making sure that you have people on your friends list. And if you're wanting to primarily build a business on your friends list, that's who you've got to really start to target. And you can weed out some of these friends that are maybe not interactive, or maybe they're not on Facebook a lot. Maybe they're not seeing you. You can weed those out. It's okay to unfriend people. Just, you don't have to block them. And then if they want to come back in, then let them back in. But there's been, I've done a lot of cleaning up even of my own Facebook. I've even had periods where I had some fake accounts on my face. It's been a learning curve, but I'm going to teach you some of that too. I'm going to teach you how to find and detect those fake accounts, so to speak.
Okay, very good. Very good.
They're pretty easy to spot if you know what you're looking for. running a group and running, different team things that you can do, that's going to shed a lot of light on things you need to look out for. But the first step I really want everybody to focus on is getting up to 5,000 friends. And Jen, I showed my profile. I think I have 1.7 thousand friends. That's all I have, but that's what I've built up, so
Yeah.
the point is I need to have 5,000 friends, and I'll get there, but it's not going to happen overnight. Just make that a goal. Is every Monday, maybe, every morning, spend maybe, 30 minutes or so, join in a couple of new groups, maybe, friend requesting, 25 people. It doesn't take that long to friend request 25 people and send them a little message. Now, Facebook, you can't send the same message in Facebook Messenger to more than 25 people, because then they'll lock your account. So you have to be really careful about, and I'll teach you that too. When you're starting to add and invite people to different groups, you gotta do that in increments. You can't do you can't invite 50 people all at once, or Facebook will lock you down.
Right. And I think that keeps us honest about being a little bit more personal.
Yes. Everybody, and myself included, I hate a cold invite. I just hate that. It's like, come talk to me and tell me why you're inviting me to this group. Don't just cold invite me, it just goes all over me, because that's not something I want to be known for. I want to just come to you in a message and say, hey, I wanted to invite you to this group because I think that you would benefit from learning about what it's about, so be very cognizant of how you go about speaking to other people, because you don't know who they are or where they come from,
Yeah. And my other question real quick is, and I know you'll probably get to this later, but as we build the 5,000, is the goal to have groups ultimately, because that's where most of the interaction happens?
I would definitely, but you don't have to, Jen, because there are
Okay.
some people, groups take a lot of work. They
Yeah.
take a lot of work. However, if you have some time and you can make a nice little group, maybe with something that Sue was saying, I'm not an expert in anything. Well, she's probably an expert in something she doesn't even realize,
Right.
say you really know, like you're a massage therapist. Maybe you could have a group on teaching people some, massage therapy things that they can do at home. I'm
Right.
just throwing something out there. So maybe you have a group that is targeted on helping somebody do at-home therapies for themselves, but that's not going to take away from your business, of course, but a way to teach people,
Right.
teach people
So
how
is this for anyone who wants to build, or are we thinking mainly of the terahertz wand and the AO scanner? Like what, this is for anything that wants to do anything. So I can personalize it.
You could.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm doing it for kind of anyway.
Yeah.
And I have a group now, but I don't want to dominate the conversation about something that's not everyone's interested in. So I'm just trying to say, sorry that I'm late, but yeah. Okay.
No, don't worry about it. I'm glad. And another thing, people ask, well, do I have to have a group? No, you don't have to have a group. But so what you do want to make another goal to do, but I don't want you to do this week. I want you to focus on getting your friends list up, but we're going to talk more about this later. But when you're in these groups, pay attention to the conversations. If there's a conversation that you can contribute to the conversation, and you can find friends that way too. Once you start having a repertoire with different people in different groups, add them as your friends, and then that is another way of being able to, maybe someone's talking about how they're struggling with hair loss after having COVID for so long. Well, you've got some tools in your toolbox that's going to help. So you can comment on that thread and say, hey, I can't talk about what it is that I have available, but there is an educational group. I'd love to invite you to it, and just leave it at that. I mean, sometimes you can do that in some groups you cannot. So you just have to know the rules. If they will not allow you to share different products or different things like that, then don't. Just, maybe message that person privately and say, hey, I've got an education group about, something that's helping people with hair loss. I just thought maybe I'd reach out to you and see if you'd like me to send you an invite. You can do it like that. You don't have to do it in the group and make a comment in the group. But I notice when I make a comment in the group, hey, there's an educational group where a lot of people are, having exponential hair growth and after COVID. And, if you'd like an invite, just PM me or something. Of course, a lot of groups, they'll flag the word PM and you might get blocked from the group, or you could even say, send me a message or, something like that. You just have to be very aware of the different groups and what the rules are. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
But I'll cover more of that and more examples of that, in the weeks to come, because one of the tricks though is you've got to have a lot on your friends list. The other thing is in your settings, your personal settings, guys. A lot of people don't realize this, but when you go to your actual settings, let me see if I can find that. Oh, here we go. Profile tagging and settings. So on your profile, you want to look at your settings on that, or general settings, let's see, or your privacy. Sorry, privacy settings is one of those that will kind of keep people from seeing you or whatever. So I am not a public Facebook account. However, I've allowed anybody to call. Everybody can send me friend requests. So you want to make sure to go into your Facebook, check your account settings, make sure that they're all in line with you building a business on Facebook. You just want to make sure you have the best settings. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? That might be a little vague. Okay, well, there's no questions on that.
That's good. Yeah, that's all good.
Okay, so and then another thing that I have done, and I'm just going to share this with everybody here. I had a sponsor in another business venture that I got into that I found out later that she was actually reaching out to all my friends. So I made my friends list not visible to anybody. I protect my friends that way, because there are some people that will friend you just to get into your friends list. So be aware of that. There's not good intentions with everybody. So does that make sense? I know I was a little vague on that too. I just try not to cover too much negativity. It's like, ugh. Go ahead.
So when you do your posts, do you make your posts public?
I think I do. Yeah, my posts are. Oh no, my post, just my friends can see my post. Sorry.
Okay, I do a lot of public, and I've just been kind of wondering if it's good that way. I don't know which way would be best.
I think, Tina, that really depends. You've got a lot of different things too going on with what you do. I did not do public, and the reason why I didn't is because, and it was more on a personal level, and I'm almost to the point where I think I could go public now, but my personal reasons for not being public in the past was because I came out of a very, how do I put it? I was in a religion that was very oppressive, I guess you could say. So
Right, we talked about that.
Yeah, I chose not to be a public profile for that reason, because I didn't want them coming to me and go, well, she's doing this because, and that's the reason why she needs to be banned and all that. But I didn't feel like it was any of their business. So, but I'm at the point in my life now where probably having a public profile wouldn't bother me anymore. So, and I've considered.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? And what would you like to see me cover I mean, is there anything, I was going to put a little poll in here, and next week I might have a poll just to kind of get some feedback on what you'd like for me to cover, but I'm going to make this a regular thing, and we're all house these videos is actually probably in my groups where, you know, it's business, and that way, and I might make a YouTube just for this type of particular, I haven't thought about that yet. But a lot of people asking me for the recordings. But what would you like me to cover? And I can make some notes. Maybe some.
I think one of the things I'd like to see is, and I know it's always personal preference, but right now I'm fielding a lot of questions from a lot of different people on a lot of different things that are very repetitive. And
Right.
because I like to be personal with each person, because everyone's got their own story, and there isn't a one size answer. And I find people that do copy and paste answers. Other people say to me, I don't think that she likes me, or I don't think that I'm bothering her. And I get that that person is super busy and they're trying to simplify their
Yeah.
responses. So I want to hit a sweet spot there. And so I think I need the structure of an automated response that I can go to with the freedom to finagle that per person, per situation. And I don't know if that's setting myself up for failure, if I should pick one side or the other and just commit, or, but I can see myself like spinning a little bit right now, and I don't want to drop all the balls I'm juggling. And a business is a ball juggling operation. So, you know, but it's just, I did so much hands-on in my treatment center. I didn't do a lot of Facebook interaction because I wasn't selling a product, I was selling a service.
Right.
Now it is product oriented, and it is nationwide, worldwide. So I can do remote. So I'm like, okay, wow.
It
How do
opened
I
the door,
answer this
didn't it?
question again? Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we can touch on that whenever you find, you know, that fitting, that's what I'm looking to just figure out.
And I can definitely touch on that too, because I went from a place of doing a remote service, but not having tools per se to actually tools and gadgets that actually became a part of my business where I was making an income off of it. I'm like, oh, now I've got to switch directions here. And I don't just offer iridology. Now I offer remote sessions with the AO scanner or remote sessions with the terahertz one. And I really don't focus that much on that with that because of, you know, it's better to have that in person, but, or maybe, you know, I'm in the LifeWave patches. I, you know, can send you some patches, you know, or, you know, so I've taken on some different, you know, the most successful people that have businesses on Facebook is that they have multiple streams of income. A lot of my friends that are into the same things that I'm in are also in other things. We are very careful about the things that we choose to promote or to sell because there are rules with some of the companies that we're with. So we have to be very aware of those different regulations or, you know, things that, you know, that you can or cannot do with certain businesses. But thankfully, every one of mine, you know, that I do has a different offer or a different, you know, application. So you can intermarry those, but you can't do them together. And that is also what I'm going to teach you later is how do you post on your personal Facebook page and promote different products without getting in trouble. There is a way to do that too. So I can cover that later. AO Scan is the one that actually taught me how to do that and to be very careful about it. So we're very, those of us that are into the AO Scan, and I think a lot of you on the call here have the AO Scanner too. That company does not mind for us to promote other things. However, we cannot do a call to action in our posts. We have to make them very, very vague and very curiosity driven, and the people have to reach out to you that way. So you have to be very careful on your own personal Facebook page, especially if you have some of the people from Solex as your friend.
Right,
So,
right, okay.
there are rules to follow with that too. So I'll definitely be teaching on that, and sharing some of those secrets with people. And I say that they're secrets, they're really not secrets. If you guys were to come to me and ask me, well, how do you do that? It's a process. So then I thought, I've been having more and more people reach out to me, and I'm like, okay, I guess I just need to show, because I'm talking to people and realizing they don't know how to do this stuff. And it just came real easy for me, only because I'm one of those people that try to figure out stuff and do it on my own. So I have that knack and that ability. So I need to try to help others do the same. And that's what my goal is to help others, because I want to see everybody successful in what they're doing. Even if you're not on my team, I still want to see you successful. I feel like I can bring stuff to the table on that end. And I've learned a lot of things by myself. So, just today I had to teach myself, well, how do I make people register for a Zoom webinar that I'm doing? I had no idea how to do that. I just learned how to do it today. So, please ask me those questions. Ask me, there may be something I know how to do that I'd be happy to share it with you. I'll jump on a Zoom with you real quick and show you how to do something. I'm really busy, but I try to make time for my people. Anybody that knows, I will try to make time for you, even if you're not on my team. I don't care. That doesn't matter. I think that as long as we're all friends and we can all help each other, that's the goal, just make everybody better.
Perfect.
Any questions here all right.
I love it. This morning I thought, oh my gosh, Tammy is so brilliant and smart. She even knows how to have people register for Zoom.
I just learned it, Sue.
I love it.
I have a mentor that I do a Zoom with him every Sunday. And now he's my homeopathy instructor in fact. And I thought, how does he do that? There's got to be a setting in Zoom somewhere. So what do? I go on YouTube and I say, how do I make people register for a Zoom meeting? And that's how I learned how to do it. Now, there's also a way to have people pay for Zoom meetings. I haven't got that far yet, but I'm working on it. So, but yeah, I have to set aside just a little bit of time here and there to learn something new, because I don't have time to just sit and, look over everything all the time. So, all right. Any other questions? Anything else anything else you want to know? I think I have in my mind the things I want to teach you guys. But if there's something, that you have, that you struggle with, let me know. And I'll make sure that I cover that.
Sounds fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I hope this helps a little. I know I'm gonna take it slow though, because I feel like if I give y'all too much information, it's overwhelming. So this week, start on 100 new friends by next Monday, and let's see who has the most friends. Maybe I'll do a giveaway. How about we do some sort of I'll come up with something. Let's find out who can have the most friends by next Monday, and keep a record of how many new friends you get.
So will this be at 11 o'clock on Mondays then?
Yes, I'll do it
Okay,
11 o'clock
perfect.
every Monday. I've already set it up as a reoccurring thing. Next week we'll cover a new little topic, just a tiny little thing to kind of help you, and give some examples.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. And take a snapshot of your friends list today. This is going to be the requirement. Take a snapshot of your friends list today and put on the picture, put today's date on there. Do y'all know how to do that? Even if you screenshot your profile and it shows how many friends you have, then put a date when you're in your photographing part of your phone. I think down somewhere it'll show how you can text or add a sticker or add a date. Make sure you put a date on there. And then next Monday, or next Sunday evening, before you go to bed, take another snapshot and let's see how many friends you've grown. Okay. So that's everybody's homework. And I'm going to see who all's on the call and I'll write y'all down too. So we got Sue, we got chemistry, Luann, Nancy, Tina. Is that all we got on here today? Let's see. Oh, no. Jeannie?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So, man, let me get, I'm going to take a,
I think Jen had to leave too. She was on here.
oh, was she on here? Okay. Yeah, that's right. I was talking to her. So I've got Luann, Tina, Sue, Jeannie, Jen, chemistry, and Nancy. Okay, so everybody take a screenshot of your friends list and then put the date on there. And then next Sunday, take another one and let's see how much you've grown. And then I'll do some sort of little contest. I'll make up something fun and I'll get it sent out to somebody just because you worked on it. All right, if there's no other questions, y'all
Have a
stick
great day.
around.
Have a great week.
You as well. Everybody have a wonderful week and I'll see you next Monday.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.